Our next speaker will be Marty Lancaster, representative for the Green Party.
I'm speaking on behalf of Valerie Powell, who's our candidate who couldn't be here today. Stephen Harper proroguing government is kind of like the Toronto Maple Leafs shutting down the NHL because they don't like the way their team's playing and they don't want to play the next couple weeks. It just doesn't work that way. You can't do it. You got to stay and finish the season. Stephen Harper said he prorogued Parliament because he wanted his party to go work on the economy. Jim Flaherty, the finance minister, just announced his plan. We're not going to change anything. He had to shut down government to figure that out. That doesn't make any sense. He's not using proroguing for what it's meant for. He doesn't want to face the Parliament. He doesn't want to answer those tough questions. Did we know about the torture going on in Afghanistan? Or how about Copenhagen? 85% of the world was in Copenhagen. And Canada was invited as well to do something about climate change. More than half of people in Canada wanted something to change. Stephen Harper, he didn't even want to go. He finally gets dragged there, and the only action he takes is to obstruct the process and delay action. It's embarrassing. We got the fossil of we got the colossal fossil award, the worst country in Copenhagen. How embarrassing is that? He doesn't want to hear about that in Parliament. He shut it down so he doesn't have to answer to those questions. Hear, hear. It's wrong. In the last federal election, 41% of people did not even vote. They did not even turn out to vote. Of those that did vote, only a third voted for the Conservative Party. That's 18% that the Conservative Party have. That's less than 1 in 5 people voted for the Conservatives, and he's running the government like he can decide what's happening. That's not democratic. It's not allowed. You don't have the majority. Here in Simcoe North, more than half of the people who voted for Green, Liberal, or NDP. More than half. And how many of them are represented in government? None. Zero. No representation. Even the winning party got beat. Who won in Simcoe North? None of the above. More people didn't vote than voted for the party that's in power right now. There's something seriously wrong with that in our system. We need to fix that. The first time Stephen Harper prorogued Parliament was because he didn't want to face the coalition government. He used it to get out of a serious democratic action. Parties coming together, cooperating, representing a majority. Like, that's a bad thing. He had to run away from that and hide and fight it in the media. He's using proroguing to hold on to his thin layer of power. Cooperating is a good thing. There's 3 parties here cooperating today. That's a good thing. We need more of that. If he can't face these challenges in the House, then he loses the ability to be in charge. We either now look for a coalition or, unfortunately, another election. Now that gets me to another point on election. There's a problem with our system. We need proportional representation. Every vote counts. If you vote for a party, you get represented by that party. We need that, and we need to work towards that. We don't need to have strategic voting. We need to feel that our vote counts and we're represented. It's important. The Green Party has always had this as part of our platform, but we need to have you guys out joining other political parties, even join the Conservative Party. Get inside of their party and force them to make proportional representation a part of their platform. And say it has to happen now. If it doesn't happen, then we'll elect somebody that will change to proportional representation so people will feel a lot stronger and connected. They won't be turning their back on politics. They'll feel that representation. Harper is prorogued on the assumption that the Canadians don't care. They're not paying attention, they're not watching. Well, we're here today. All of you deeply care about your democracy, about what's going on. You're here as part of a very large shout out across the country to say, we're here, we're watching, we're not impressed, we demand better, get back to work. Thank you.
Our next speaker will be Richard Bannigan of the NDP. Thank you.
this is really an incredible turnout today. You know, Bruce Stanton said that nobody gave a damn about this issue and nobody would show up. And even the organizer said, what are we going to get, 10 people? Look around you. We're doing really, really well. I got to hand it to you all. You are great, interested, concerned Canadians. And I really have to hand it to the young people who organized this on really short notice. They're showing a lot of gumption and concern. And you know what? I'm not afraid for the future. I think we'll be in good hands. For sure. Okay. Now, I really think that there's going to be an election pretty soon. I'm not the candidate yet. We're having a meeting, a nomination meeting on January the 31st down at the Steelworkers Hall just over here. Members, of course, are invited. If you're not a member, you can come and sign up, but you can't vote, not right away. A little later you can vote. That's the rules. Okay, but anyway, I'm expecting an election very shortly. I think Parliament's supposed to go back March the 3rd, and I think the Flipperty will probably give us a budget, which will be rejected by the opposition, and then there'll be an election call. This will happen around the middle of March, I think. Beware the Ides of March. Who said that? That'll put an election right into April. So keep an eye on the newspapers and you know, watch TV and whatnot and find out what's going on, because things are really heating up. Now, we've heard some interesting words, quotes from different folks. I'm going to give you an idea that comes from the great British philosopher Bertrand Russell, because I think it really captures the essence of what Parliament is all about and why we need it. In one of his books on philosophy, Russell said, nobody really has a monopoly on the truth. Anybody that says they do, they're wrong. And the problem with a lot of politicians, of course, is they believe they have a monopoly on the truth. And we've had a succession of them over the years, and some of them very well known, such as Adolf Hitler, Joe Stalin, Richard Nixon, and Stephen Harper. Anyway, what Russell said is, imagine you witness an accident at an intersection just like this one. Say somebody's turning right and they smash into somebody who's trying to go straight ahead, but maybe they ran a red light or something. And say there's a witness on all four corners. Well, each witness is going to have a different point of view. They will all see something different. So in other words, they all have a piece of the truth, but they don't have the whole truth. So it's going to be up to the police to come and interview everybody. And, you know, they might find out, well, this guy over here is blind, and this person over here is deaf, and what good is their testimony? Maybe not that good. Plus, people are bringing different things to being a witness of the accident. Maybe somebody doesn't want to be involved. Maybe somebody else has got something against somebody that was in one of the cars that were smashed up. So in other words, what the police have to do and laying a charge is to try to figure out what really happened. What is the truth? And then it'll go before a judge, and then the judge will have to figure out all over again what on earth happened here. And he'll listen to different witnesses and try to figure out what it is. And this is how our Parliament works. You see, no one member of Parliament, no Prime Minister owns the truth. We all do. It's all of us. And the truth is something that's kind of like hanging in the air over Parliament. So shutting down Parliament means that you really think that, you know, I know best and you better just follow what I say, and what you say doesn't count at all. That is the problem. Now, our party has got a solution, and that is, Jack Layton introduced this last week. We need rules on this proroguing thing. It can't just be left up to any prime minister who wants to do it. And, you know, when somebody does it, you set a precedent, and then somebody else will try to do it from any of the parties, and that's not right. So what we're saying is we need some rules. Now, in the parliamentary system, we don't really have rules until there's a problem. It's not like the U.S. where there's a constitution and everything's laid out. We act when there is a problem, and now we have a problem. So one of the issues in the next election is going to be proroguing. We need rules on proroguing. You can't just let anybody do what. Okay, I'm out of time. So I thank you very much. Thank you everybody for being here. I know it's colder than hell. My hands are freezing, but We're Canadians, we're tough, we can take it, and we can do this.